Welcome back to the Cumbie Show, where we tell it is and we do not care how you feel. Today we have the Cumbie Show's very first Top 25 ranking for the 2026 college football season. What I'm going to be doing is updating this every single week as teams win, as teams lose, as teams make a fool of themselves. I will update this every single week, probably coming out around Monday or Tuesday of each week with my updated rankings. I know at this point in the season, it's practically useless because it's way too early for a top 25. And also, I know it's just my opinion. It's just the Cumbie Show's opinion. ESPN, College Game Day, the playoff committee is not sitting in a room saying, hey, let's see what Steven has to say. No. This is purely for fun. And people love watching these. People love getting angry at these for whatever reason, even though it's just most people's opinions. So let's jump to it. Obviously, no games have been played, so this is before anything. What I'm going to do is start at 25, work my way up, and I'll kind of give a brief explanation. I'll start with the bottom five, and then the next five, and the next five, and give a brief explanation of why I have teams where. I'm not going to give an explanation on every single team, why I have some team ranked 22, because if I did that, this video would be 2 hours long, and I don't feel like talking that much. But let's jump straight to it. Starting at 25 spot, now, this is where most people are going to immediately lose faith, in my opinion, and probably click off the video and also troll me, and that's okay. I will take trolling for this pick. This is the one dumb pick that I feel like in my top 25. Number 25, I have FSU, the nose. Now I get it. Last year was a horrible year. Mike Norvell probably should be fired. I don't know what it is, but something is telling me they're going to be a lot better this season. They've given me no real reason to believe that, but hey, maybe that's my hot take of the century. I've got FSU at 25. Quickly run through these. 24, I've got Houston. 23, Iowa. They've got a great defense. You might as well pencil them at 8-4. 22, Louisville. And 21, I have Penn State. The reason behind all these teams, mostly besides FSU, is you can put these in any order you want. To me, you could put Houston at 21. You can drop Penn State all the way down to 24. You can rearrange these in whatever you want, 21 through 24. Most of these teams right there, I believe, will go 8-4. I think they're pretty solid. I think that pretty much whatever direction you go, you can basically guarantee that these teams are going to be penciled in at 8-4. I understand Penn State had an awful year last year. They fired their head coach. They brought in Matt Campbell. I think he's going to, but if you look at their schedule for Penn State, it's really not that difficult. Very solid chance they can go 8-4, if not better. They could mess around and go 10-2. So I'm putting Penn State at 21. I mean, Iowa, like I said, you can basically pencil them in as an 8-4 team every single year. And FSU has the potential to be the most improved team in college football, in my opinion. I think they do improve, and I think they improve tremendously. Let's jump to 16 through 20. Come in at our 20th spot, I have SMU, 19, Utah, 18, Tennessee, 17, Michigan, and rounding out that 16 spot, I have Washington. These teams, all these teams, in my opinion, have the potential to have a really good year, either go 9-3 to 8-4, with a small percent chance of making the playoff if things go their way. If the ball bounces their way, they do have a small percent chance at making the playoff. Question for Tennessee is, how good is that quarterback for Tennessee going to be? They just named the true freshman, Faison Brandon, as a starting quarterback. The man's got zero college experience, so I've got a lot of questions there. If he's good, for all we know, he could come out and be a stud, be a superstar, and get this Tennessee team to compete in the SEC and potentially play for a playoff game. I think they have the potential. Same with FSU. I think they can be a really good team. Can they make a push in the ACC with an ACC conference that's down? You got what? Besides Miami, what's the second best team in the ACC? Does Clemson have a bounce back year? I don't know. Georgia Tech, I think they're going to fall back. So all these teams, 16 through 20, I think. Damon Williams, for Washington. I think he is really good. He accounted for 31 touchdowns last year. My concern with Washington is that they play in the Big Ten, and that's a tough conference this year. I don't know if they're going to be able to compete for a conference championship. I mean, they'd have to go through Oregon, Ohio State. You've got Indiana, who I still think is going to be really good. I give credit. I've got Michigan in my top 25. I think they have the potential of being really good. The Big Ten is a very solid conference this year. Can they compete in that conference? But I think they have a small chance of making the playoffs. Do not count Washington out. So those are my 16 through 20. Let's jump to 15 through 11. Coming at my 15 spot, I've got BYU. 14, I've got Alabama. I went back and forth. I had them at all the way as high as 12. I had them all the way as low as 20. When I was making this, I kind of settled right there in the middle of 14. They have a lot of question marks, but they are still a very talented team. And at 13, I got USC. 12, Texas Tech. And 11, filling out my 11 spot, just outside the top 10, I have LSU. All these teams, I think, have a legitimate shot at making the playoffs. I feel really good about them. I think they have a couple of really tough games that could go either way. You talk about LSU with Lane Kiffin. The man's talented. As much as I dislike who he is as a person, the things that he chooses to do, the drama that follows Lane Kiffin, he's going to put a good product on the field. And with the talent that he's got at LSU, he's an offensive genius. He is. I think they have a legitimate shot at making the playoffs. Texas Tech, they play in the Big 12. I don't see much of a competition there. I think they might have a step back of a year, especially now that they don't have Brennan Sorsby and that whole drama that was engulfed in that. But I think they still compete for a playoff spot. BYU, same with BYU. I think they're probably the second best team in the Big 12. They might even be the best if they can get a win over Texas Tech. So they have a legitimate shot at making the playoffs. Alabama, I just touched on Alabama. I have a lot of questions for Alabama, and I'm a little bit lower on the tie than I was a few months ago. I'm concerned about the quarterback play. I'm concerned about their running back room. They were the worst team in the SEC last year when it comes to rushing percentage, rushing yards. They had a horrible running game. It is what it is. O-line was not good, and I don't know if they've done anything to improve on that. We will see. They did just name their starting quarterback a couple days ago, last week sometime. So a lot of questions there. Same with USC. USC is talented. Lincoln Riley is a hell of an offensive mind. He's going to put up a lot of points. But can he field a competent defense that can get this team into the playoffs and actually compete deep into the playoffs? I've got a lot of questions there. But they're still a really good team. They're definitely a top 15 team, in my opinion. They have a legitimate shot at making the playoffs. So that's my 11 through 15. Now let's get to my top 10. Coming at the 10th spot, I've got the Texas A&M Aggies, the wannabe military school. Cry about it all you want, Ags. Number 9, Indiana. I still think they are very talented. They just won the national championship last year. Hell of a job, Indiana fans. Hoosiers, celebrate it for as long as you got, because I think it's going to be a while before you win another one. Still, I think they're really good. They've got some talent returning. Let's see if Kurt Signetti can get it going for 2 years in a row. 8th spot, Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambliss, enough said. 7, Oklahoma. And then rounding out 6, I've got Notre Dame. These teams, 7 through 10, really not count Notre Dame. 7 through 10, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Indiana, and Texas A&M. I feel like they're most likely going to make the playoffs. I would be not overly shocked if any of one of these missed, but I would definitely expect these teams to make the playoffs. Coming into my top 6. You already heard number 6, Notre Dame. 5, Ohio State. 4, Miami. 3, Texas. 2, my Georgia Bulldogs. And number 1 for the Cumbie Show's Top 25 Week 0 edition, I've got the Oregon Ducks. 1 through 6, you can honestly put these in whatever order you are. I mean, I went back and forth. I had Georgia at 1. I've got Oregon at 1 now. I've had Texas at 1. 1 through 6, Oregon, Georgia, Texas, Miami, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. You can put in whatever order you want. If you can make a case for Notre Dame to be number 1, you can make a case for Ohio State. All of these teams will make the playoff, no doubt. I would put money on it. And they all have a legitimate shot to win the national title championship. If at the end of the 2026 season, one of those 6 teams I just listed off won, I would not be surprised. Great returning production for all these teams. Really solid quarterback play. I mean, you look at Oregon and Dante Moore. The guy's a stud. Most likely will go number 1 in the draft this year if he goes. Texas, Arch Manning, with that 5-star loaded defense and offense. Playmakers at the wide receiver for Texas. Elite defense. Georgia, Gunnar Stockton is back. I think he's a hell of a quarterback, probably one of the best in the SEC. If you ask me, maybe I'm being a homer, but he might be slightly better than Arch Manning from what we've seen. Probably the best defense in the SEC, if you ask me. A loaded offensive line with a great rushing attack, wide receiver or running back room. Questions at the wide receiver if they can get it done, if they have elite playmaker and maybe a little bit of a pass rush. Little bit concerned there, but I mean, across the board, the talent for these top 6 teams are through the roof. They are the best 6 teams in the league, in my opinion. They have the best chance of not only making the playoffs, but winning the whole damn thing. So that's my top 25. That is the Cumbie Show's first top 25 of the 2026 playoff season. Like I said, I'm going to be updating this every week, going through, changing what I change. And yes, I will make drastic changes. If your team comes out here and plays horrible and they look like crap against a lower power, non-power 4 team, or they shit the bed one week, they're dropping down. I'm not going to be afraid to kick someone out of the top 10, top 25. You got to play like it. You got to play like you belong in the top 25. Biggest one that most people are probably thinking stupid is my number 25th pick at FSU. You can clown me all you want. I know it's probably a weird pick. I just have a weird feeling that they're going to be decent this year. I don't know what it is, but I think Mike Norvell is going to have a decent year. Probably not good enough to save his job. I think he should be fired. But when you get down to the top 20 and below, really, what are you looking at? Are you looking at overall record? Like, what are we? Because really, the 23rd best team to the 28th best team is probably not that much of a difference versus the number 1 team and the number 20 team. That's a huge gap. So when you really get below, I would say probably 15 and out. Really, it's up to you and your opinion of what you think makes a team good and not good. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Am I wrong? Am I right? Clown me about FSU. You can save this video so at the end of the season when Mike Norvell is fired in week 3 and Florida goes 2-10, you can troll me. I'll deserve it. But that's all I got today. Other than that, over and out.